Have you ever been having a pretty mellow day and then something random happens that throws off your energy and it just wipes you out? Have you ever just been minding your own business and then something comes at you, hijacks your attention? Or have you ever been planning for your future and then out of nowhere an emergency happens and you have to change and pivot? You're in the right place. I got you guys. I got my selenite wand. We're about to decompress. All right. Disclaimer: this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. If you need help, as always, please seek professional help. Welcome to the Coffee and Daydreaming podcast, a podcast where dreams come alive and productivity gets a dose of caffeine. I'm your host, Amy, your BFF, encouraging you to live your dreams. We're going to glow up, but also relax. Take it easy. Be a little gentle, release the grips of life, but also we're glowing up. All right. Anyway, I'm here with you on this journey of self healing and evolving and all of that. This episode is branched out, inspired by the episode prior, with the theme of how to stop being a nervous wreck. So we're separating it into three parts, branching it out. So today's theme will be techniques to stay calm and centered amidst life's chaos. So, in other words, how to not take on external forces or how to navigate with external forces. And then the other two, I'm thinking it's going to be how to stop taking things so personally. I'm not sure what the other one's going to be yet, but if you guys have any topics that you struggle with, what makes you a nervous wreck? Let me know. I'm going to do research. Let's do research. First, I want to just give a shout out poster available if you're listening on audio. I'm pointing to my unicorn poster. I also have a Believe Your Dreams poster at www.coffeeanddaydreaming.com because it should have a unicorn poster as well. We all need a unicorn poster. And let's get into it. Okay. Techniques to stay calm and centered amid life's chaos. I will be honest. Okay, today something a little weird happened. I finished work and I closed my laptop and I'm like, it's podcast time. And I'm just like all excited to kind of change modes from my day job to my passion projects and all that. And then all of a sudden I hear banging on the door. But the thing is, I had like my curtains open. So it's like they saw me, but it was my neighbor. And I answer the door and I'm like, hey, hi, what's up? She's like, I locked myself out of my house and panicking. Now, I actually went through this almost 1 year ago. And so I had a lot of empathy. I was like, oh, that's the worst feeling. Except I didn't have a phone, keys, wallet, like nothing. Thankfully, she had her phone, wallet, a car keys. So the thing is, I'm staying with family until I move back to New York. And they don't want guests over. And so anyway, people pleasing me in my head, I'm like, oh man, I wish I had my own place, like a little cottage. I could be like, come on in for cookies and tea while you wait. But the reality is I gotta respect the boundaries of staying at somebody else's house. So I felt bad. It was cold outside. So I was like, here, stay in the foyer while you at least to get warm while you call whoever you need to call to help figure it out. So in my head, I meant just stay in the foyer. She walked right in. Now, mind you, the person I'm staying with is like a germphobe, real germphobe, and has OCD around it. You got to take your shoes off at the door, no guests. And so, anyway, she walks right in with her shoes on. And I'm like, also, I feel bad what happened to her situation. I'm just like, I see the sneakers on in the carpet. Oh, I'm like, I felt bad, but also I have a list of things I honestly have to prioritize. And also, it's the whole boundary thing. I feel bad. It's not my house. It's simply not my house. So what I did was I said, let me find you a 24-hour locksmith, okay? Okay, so I did research, found 24-hour locksmith. I was like, okay, good luck with everything. And bye. And then she left, and it was just like a moment where I was like calm energy, and then it was this external energy. It was also this frantic, oh, I locked myself out. And I'm like, okay, step by step. But anyway, I was all in podcast mode, and then I had to switch back to figuring it out. So after watching many Abraham Hicks videos, they always make me feel better. If you don't know what it is, just go on YouTube, Abraham Hicks. It's a little weird. I tried to show a couple people, and they're like, no, this is no. So I get it. I get it. Here's some helpful tips that I gathered from watching a bunch of Abraham Hicks on what to do when you feel a bunch of random external chaos. If this resonates with you, awesome. Choose the path of least resistance. I like that. I like that because in my brain, I'm just like, what just happened? Okay, wait. But you could be like, stop, just stop. It's done. We did our thing. We helped. That's it. You helped her find a locksmith. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Hangover, it'll be over in a little while. So I think that kind of reminds me to just hang in and go with it in a sense of you don't need to suppress, you don't need to fight, you don't need to automatically fix anything. You just hang in there. Just least resistance. Okay, chill and enjoy. Power of focus. So the chaos after, what was I focusing on? I was focusing on my own people pleasing guilt of, oh, like I felt bad. I wish I could have her make tea for her and have cookies for her. But the reality, boundaries, not my house, not my say to do that, to allow that. So to focus, to divvy away from the focus of the guilt of not doing more to, hey, you did as much as you could. It's not technically your responsibility. Like, yeah, I do feel responsible as a citizen on this planet of the world, be helpful when possible. But at a certain point, it's that like enmeshment. Remember about enmeshment. You end here, I end here. It's not like this. I did everything I could in my control, and it's done. Step back broadly and not let what is right now. Step right in. Okay, that may have been a weird energy jolting situation, but you don't have to focus on the what is. Take a step back. Okay, look at it more broadly. I like that in the sense of, hey, things happen. That is a genuine frustrating thing. I can definitely empathize. We did all we could. Now it's done. It's done. No more focusing on it. Okay, be general as you can back away from it. So be a little bit general. Okay, cool. Now it's 8 o'clock on a Wednesday. What else do we have to do today? Allow focus with appreciation about the thing. So is there anything to appreciate? We could appreciate we're not in that situation. I mean, it's never to compare your situation and find the good, but just that is how you appreciation is the slight awareness of thankfully I'm not that those shoes. And then also indicator of how focused you've been. Okay. Yeah, my life, which is what inspired this lately, has been a little bit out of an unexpected event outside of my control. And I have been a little bit worried, which I'm going to get into. And then lastly, joining or blaming for discord, how good you feel. Yeah, I have to say I did blame the situation for feeling frazzled. In other words, joining or blaming for how good or bad you feel. We have full control over how we feel, and nothing does something to us. Are we in reactive mode or creating mode? And I think I get in trouble when I'm in reactive. Okay, aside from that, some things, a weird energy, you'll be having that normal day, and that a jolt of energy comes at you, like I just explained. And if you could apply those Abraham Hicks things, if that resonate with you, then great. But if not, I also have 10 tips that are rooted based in therapy practices. I'm not a licensed professional, but I've gathered information that perhaps you could find useful. So sometimes external things might not come to us in such a sense of like the WTF kind of the stunned kind of reaction. Sometimes unexpected things can come that make us feel scared of the lack of control that we have or things we need to deal with. A loved one in a hospital or a relationship falling apart or friend drama, things that are just out external that you have to deal with. And you don't have a lot, it feels like you don't have a lot of control. And so, for that reason, you may find yourself panicking slightly. Okay, so here are 10 quick tips that have helped me navigate through having a family member in the hospital that I care about that I'm also very worried about. Okay, so here we go. Of course, breathing. Remember the last episode, breathing. Okay, but number one, focus on what you can control. Remember to direct your energy towards things within your control rather than dwelling on what you cannot change. So that was my mistake. I totally was dwelling on things that I can't change and getting sick to my stomach. But just focus on things that you can control. In the hospital, they are doing everything in their control. Just you got to focus on that. It's not easy. I get you. And that is from Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, Perceived Control and Causal Attributions, a reprisal. Number two, stop catastrophic thinking. So challenge catastrophic thoughts and strive to approach situations with a calmer mindset. Source is behavioral research and therapy, catastrophic thinking. When you find a catastrophic thought, can you challenge it? Okay, is this really true? Okay, what's the worst that could happen? What about what's the best that could happen? What if you leaned into that? And that leads me to go on to number three, stay positive. I know that whole positive, that toxic positivity thing gets a bad rap. So I think the word positive after all that, it leaves people with an upset stomach. Ugh. But stay positive in the sense of find the helpful thought as opposed to the unhelpful thought. That's how I interpret it. So, in other words, instead of focusing on what's the worst that could happen, could you focus on what's the best that could happen? So, remember to ask yourself, what is the best that could happen? Okay, focus on the bright side, even amidst struggle. Is there a bright side to a relative in the hospital? No. But you lean into the helpful thinking. Number four, accept things the way they are. Practice acceptance of your emotions and circumstances without judgment. You know what? This is the situation and it we are doing everything in our control right now. But I want you to really focus on accepting how you feel. There is no shame in feeling worried, sick. No shame at all. In fact, that is normal. Of course, you care. So radically accept yourself. I feel worried, and that's okay. That's okay. Number five, solve problems. Don't just worry about them. So take proactive steps to address challenges rather than ruminating on that. And I really like that. The source is Personality and Social Psychology Review, Problem Solving Processes. I really like that because you can worry away. You can worry all you want, but is it changing the situation? No, that little reminder of worrying actually is not solving the problem. So it does help when I have a friend intercept my ruminating, like, yo, this isn't helping. What can we do about it? What can we do about it? So, number six is stay in the moment. Practice mindfulness to stay grounded in the present and reduce rumination about the past or future. The source of that is Journal of Psychosomatic Research, The Effects of Mindfulness Meditation, a meta-analysis. So, yeah, I totally am guilty of this, of worrying. And for example, on the day of one of the surgeries, it was like the major surgery, I was very nervous. And I just kept thinking, I just want to cut to the day of being like, yep, everything's great. But instead, I was up sick at 3 a.m., freaking out. My heart hurt and just nervous. Was I in the present? No, I was just worried. I was catastrophic thinking of worrying about it. Practice mindfulness. Remember last week we talked about the 444 breathing. In for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Okay. I think there's also a 789 technique or something like that. Okay, what number are we on? I don't know. Number 7? 8, 9. Yep, number 7. Think in shades of gray, not just black and white. Avoid thinking in extremes and seek balanced perspectives. Source cognitive therapy and research, dialectical thinking and cognitive restructuring in cognitive behavioral therapy, a preliminary investigation. I think there is so truth in that because it does help you with the catastrophic thinking in the sense of, oh, hold on, we don't have to go there to the imagining the person on the table freaking out, wondering. We don't got to go there. We can just see shades of gray. Hey, you know what? It is serious, but you know what? Maybe on the plus side, it was caught early on, but everything doesn't have to be so catastrophic. See the gray in it. Number 8, be kind to yourself and others. Extend compassion to yourself and others during tough times. I know for sure me and my family members have been a little snappy because we've been go to the hospital, spending time at the hospital, and laundry's building up, no groceries in the house while working full time. And it's a lot. But so be kind to yourself while also worrying about another person. You also got to remember to replenish yourself because referring to that safety mask in an airplane, if you don't have yourself, you don't have, whatever. So don't forget. Number 9, don't blame yourself. Reframe from self blame and recognize that you're doing the best you can. So, okay, so yeah, I know I'm guilty of thinking to myself, oh, if only I knew to ask about this certain test that found the diagnosis. I had no idea that sometimes when you go to a doctor, they do not do all the things. Doctors are very busy. But there was one particular test that could have caught it early on to where it didn't have to get so serious. And I was blaming myself. If only I knew this one test to ask the doctor about. One being a very pretty easy basic test of like doing the cultures. And anyway, so I was mad. Oh, if only I knew about this test, we could have caught it early on. Like, I'm not a doctor. Now we know. And what can you do? And then also, you can't really blame the doctors too, because part of it is annoying, enraging in a sense of, wow, about 3 doctors and nobody did the culture test to see the bacteria grow. What? Uh, and also, we can then go into the rage of ageism and how when senior citizens in America are not heard. My dad was telling his symptoms and I was watching and I don't know if he was heard. Everybody's just rushing and then we could talk about the overpacked healthcare. There's just so much. You got to pull the reins and just be in the present moment. Right now you don't feel good either, so don't blame yourself. Accept how you feel and focus on the solutions that you have at your disposal now. Okay, and last and least, number 10, accept things even when they're hard. So practice radical acceptance of difficult emotions and situations. And source from that is behavior therapy, radical acceptance, a review of empirical literature. There we go. Radical acceptance. There's no going back in time. My brain wanted to was like erasing, to go back to the time when the symptoms were early on of chills. And so, as much as I would love to invent a time machine, go back in time and redo things, the radical acceptance, here we are now, what is in our control? So, I hope that those 10 tips on how to stay centered amidst chaos, I hope that they're helpful for you. And just if you're not going through chaos right now, just keep them in your back pocket and to sort through your brain if you experience that in the future. Let's get into affirmations. Okay, based around this topic. Here we go. I trust the journey of life, knowing that everything unfolds as it should. I have weathered storms before and emerged stronger. I know I can handle whatever comes my way. I release my worries and fears, knowing that they do not define my future. I am surrounded by love and support, guiding me through difficult times. Everything will be okay. It is safe to be okay. It is safe to feel okay. I embrace the present moment, finding peace and solace in the here and now. I trust in the universe's plan, knowing that it holds greater wisdom than I can imagine. Me and my family are resilient and adaptable, capable of navigating through any obstacles that arise. Me and my family choose to focus on positives, finding joy and gratitude in every moment. My family and I are deserving of peace and happiness, and I believe that everything will work out in the end. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the Coffee and Daydreaming podcast. Don't forget, with a cup full of coffee and a heart full of dreams, anything is possible. Click subscribe on our Instagram and TikTok, please. Our YouTube channel at Coffee and Daydreaming. I greatly appreciate it. Please leave a review if you can. Also, check out www.coffeeanddaydreaming.com for a bunch of cool stuff. The unicorn poster, we got Dream Time, Dream Nudge, Dream Up. I'm so excited about all the products coming. And lastly, if you have a topic that you would love advice on or me to do research on, to share the findings, please email me at coffeeanddaydreaming.com. You guys are so wonderful. I hope you have a wonderful, magical week. Bye, guys.